when you see the numbers and you see the statement, and it's not just one poll or two, but it's like quite a series of polls, it shows that there's a massive sympathy for what we would consider to be really extreme positions when it comes to Gaza in particular. I want to briefly touch on some of the reasons without, of course, justifying them, but it's important to understand why. There is a national trauma when it comes to October 7th, but I think that just laying it at the door of October 7th is a bit of a cop out. In fact, it's a massive cop out because this trend was certainly around long before October 7th. And depending on how far you want to go, you can talk about years, you can talk about decades. You certainly see the impacts of that trend beginning at least in the 90s, and many would argue much, much further back. There's definitely a trend here and a current that is incredibly Israeli. You can't say, "Oh, this is un-Israeli" or something. No, it's deeply Israeli. The question is, do you not have those sorts of currents elsewhere? You do. But when it comes to the Israelis, I think the Israelis feel that they really have the ability to engage in an environment of impunity. I think that the way in which the United States has engaged with Tel Aviv over the past 2 years has really given the Israelis a sense that they can basically do whatever they want to do, and Washington will back them, even if they're not necessarily very happy about it, but that they won't do anything to stop them. When you have that sense of impunity, it's going to embolden this sort of really extreme rhetoric because there are no consequences to it. On the contrary, you see the extremist kind of narrative that's being promoted by people like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, two of the most radical ministers in the Israeli government. Their discourse is utterly mainstream. Whether people like it or not is another question. I mean, from within the West, but they can't claim that it's marginal. They can't claim that it's on the sidelines or something. No, this is deeply embedded within Israeli political discourse.